So I've mentioned in a previous video that I wasn't going to make any type of how to crochet videos because there are a lot of videos out there, and but then I was thinking, well, maybe there's something that I can show you, or that I can something that I could provide, some new information that I can provide the other videos do not. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this series of videos. So the first one is the very basic video, or the very basic teachings, and I'm going to teach or show you how I learned how to crochet. So the first thing you need to learn is how to make a slip knot to start. So I have a very, what I think, my opinion, an easy method is, what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab your the long end, the one attached to the yarn, and there's gonna be your short end. So you're going to place the long end in front of the short one, making a loop. So just, make a loop like this. So here's the one, the long attached to the yarn, and here. So this one's on top. And then you're going to grab this, the large one, the one attached to the yarn, and you're going to, oops, I lost my focus. Okay. And you're going to grab your finger and place it right here. It's going to look like a little pretzel. So this loop right here, you're just going to grab your hook and grab it and pull, and then you just pull. That makes your slip knot. So I think it's an easy way to do it. A lot of people do it different ways. There's a lot of ways to do slip knots. So the second thing is, you're going to need to learn how to hold your yarn. So I hold it so I put it here and do this. Actually, no, it's over the pinky in the back, and then over the index finger, like this. But I've seen people hold their yarn in different ways. I've seen people hold their yarn like this, which I don't know how they crochet. Everybody's different. So you need to figure out the best way you want to hold your yarn. It could be this way. It doesn't matter, as long as you feel comfortable holding your yarn. There is no wrong or right way to do this. There's nothing written out there that says you have to hold it in a certain way. If you don't do it this way, then it's wrong. No, just do whatever feels comfortable to you. So once you figure out how you want to hold your yarn, then we're gonna start with chains. Now, another thing that I want to point out is the way that you hold your hook. I hold my hook like this. I've seen a lot of people do it like this, and I've seen people do it like this. They hold it like if it was a pen, or I think a pen. They do this. I cannot crochet like this. So I do this. So whatever feels comfortable for you, how to hold your hook. I do want to mention that I've actually read that holding your hook like this, if you're going to start to crochet a lot, it can become painful on your wrist because of the way your wrist moves. So they do recommend that you hold your hook like this. It'll help in the long run. Because this, if you notice, It doesn't have much movement. Let's see. It says doesn't have, so depends. So in order to do a chain, you're gonna come on under your yarn, and then if you try to do this, it won't work. Try to do this, it won't work. You're gonna do this, and then you're going to basically turn the hook downward and pull it through. And then you're gonna go up, round, and down. Up, round, and down. So when you start, you're gonna be very tense. You're gonna be very tense on both hands. So by doing chains, it's gonna help you loosen up your hands. Loosen up this hands to where you're gonna allow the yarn to slide with, how can I explain? When you start, you're gonna be so tense that your yarn is gonna be practically stuck. It's not gonna slide. So when you practice, or when you do this, when you practice, you will learn with, by doing chains, by making chains, how to loosen up your hand enough to allow the yarn to slide, but not too much that, you're doing this, that you're doing these chains like this. So it's going to be in a way where you're going to allow the chains. The first ones you're going to make are probably going to look like this, really small, because of the tension. So you will learn, so you need to learn how to let go of, let the yarn slide to where you know, just enough to, make your chain. And it's not like this, or, really, really tight. And also, this is going to help you loosen this hand. So you'll easily just, like a little rhythm, make your chains. So basically, you're going to do under, down, up, under, down, up, under, down, and then up. So once you start to practice your chains, it's going to become like second nature to do this, and to do this. After a while, you're not going to even think about it. You're just going to automatically do it. I mean, you can be watching TV and start, practicing on your chains, and it would automatically, So the way that I learned was just doing chains, making chains. That's all I did for a long time. I think I did it for this was like 20 something years ago. I was in school, so every time I came home from school, I would start just to chain. I recommend, to me, my opinion, this is the best way to learn how to loosen your hands, because that's what you need to do. Because if you don't, your stitches are going to become very, very tight, and they're not going to look good. And that's the truth. They're going to be, probably too tight, and they're going to look probably all wonky. So you need to learn first how to loosen your hands, how to let your hand, how to loosen it so that the yarn can just slide very freely, but not too much where you're making, these big chains like this. And this hand, you need to loosen it up, and enough to where when you start doing chains, that you don't even have to think about, up, around, down, up, around, down. It's going to just automatically, you're just going to start to do this. So you're going to start to loosen, your hand. You're going to start to relax. Because first, I don't know why, But when you start to crochet, you are very tense. I mean, you're like this, and you're just like, you know, trying to figure out how to do this, and your body is going to be tense. I still remember how I felt. I was all tense. My body was tense. It was. I was going to give up on it. Almost did, because like, oh my goodness, if this is crochet, then this is not relaxing as they say it is, you know. But no, it's not that. It's just that you just need to learn how to relax your hands. How just to let everything flow. So that would be my recommendation, is practice just doing chains. Just chains to loosen, and so you can lose, so you can just, you know, they can loosen your hands. That's the only reason I recommend it. And since it's just one motion, you're only doing this, it doesn't require much. You know, after that, you're being like, yeah, watching TV and doing it like this. You know, you want something. So that's what I recommend. That's how I started to learn, is by doing this. So once you practice enough and you feel comfortable, like, okay, now I feel like I can, you know, watch TV and do this on my, you know, watching TV and do chains. If you feel loose enough, then I'll recommend watching either of my other videos, which I'm going to post this one first, and probably one each week. If you want to, you know, continue to watch my videos, you can watch the next video, which is how to learn how I'm going to do the double crochet. And then watch the other videos, or if you want to watch somebody else's videos, it doesn't matter. I just as long as you've, you know, mastered the whole chain thing, you know, once you feel that you're comfortable enough, you don't feel tense anymore doing it, that's when I would recommend going to the next step. So it just depends on it's different for everybody. It's depending on how much you how much you practice and how quickly you learn. It's just different. Another thing I do recommend is if you're going to start to crochet or knit, don't go out and buy a lot of yarn. Buy 1 or 2 skeins and check it out first. You know, do your chains, watch other videos if you want. Just do this. If you feel so stressed about doing a chain and you keep on, you know, if you keep on, you know, go on and practicing and you still feel tense, then maybe crochet is not for you. And it's fine. You know, crochet is not for everybody. You know, not everybody wants to. But once they start, they're like, oh, I don't know, I don't like it. You know, or maybe this is too difficult, or I just don't feel like doing it, or whatever. So don't go out and buy a lot of yarn. Just buy 1 or 2 skeins so you can practice. And you can buy this Red Heart Super Saver, which is, you know, less expensive. And then, and do that, because if it's not for you, you don't want to be stuck with all that yarn. You can always return it to the store, but it's, you know, either way, it's just inconvenient. So that's my recommendation. So just, you know, practice, loosen those hands. And then, you know, after that, you can continue to the next step.